Every civilization wants to be remembered, to leave something behind that says, "We were here." We carve our monuments in stone, write our names in books, send our voices into the air. But all of it fades. Stone crumbles, languages die. Given enough time, everything we have ever made will be gone, unless you build something designed to outlast time itself. In 2050, beneath layers of rock far older than the human species, researchers found exactly that. Not a city, not a tomb, a single object, deliberately placed, deep enough to survive almost anything. And it had been waiting there for a very, very long time. The object was a monument the size of a small mountain, carved from a material that does not erode, set into the bedrock of the planet hundreds of millions of years ago, long before humans, long before almost anything that walks the Earth today. It had survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, the rise and fall of entire worlds of life. And it had been built for one purpose, to carry a message across deep time. The civilization that made it has no name we will ever know. They lived and died in an age so distant that not a single other trace of them remains, except this. Researchers simply called them the Predecessors. And the Predecessors had understood something we are only beginning to grasp, that no civilization lasts forever, that one day theirs would end. And that long after they were gone, something new might rise, and look up, and wonder if it was alone. So they left a message, not in any language, but in mathematics, and images, and patterns that any intelligent mind could learn to read. It took years to begin to understand it. And what it said was not what anyone expected. The message did not boast of their achievements. It did not warn of some hidden danger. It was, more than anything, a letter. A letter written by one civilization, to whoever came next. It began by explaining what they were. A people who had built, and dreamed, and looked at the stars, just as we do. It described their world, their discoveries, the things they had loved. And then it told the truth they most wanted us to know, that they were not the first either, that they too had found the remains of those who came before them, and that they had added their own voice to a chain of messages, stretching back further than anyone could see. Each civilization, it seemed, had left the same gift for the next. Not their power, not their warnings, but their memory. Proof that someone had been here, and thought, and mattered, before the dark took them. A torch passed quietly from one vanished world to the next, across unimaginable spans of time. The final passage of the message was the simplest. Translated as closely as the patterns allow, it read, "You are not the first to wake, and you will not be the last. We do not know your face, but we know your heart, because it is like ours. Remember us. Then leave your own message, for the ones who come after you. This is how we live forever." To this day, the monument beneath the rock is the oldest known object ever made by an intelligent hand. The civilization that built it is gone beyond all recovery, but their message survived. And in surviving, it did exactly what they hoped, because we found it, we read it, and now we remember them. A reminder that nothing truly disappears, so long as something remains to carry it forward. That every civilization in the end leaves a single message for the future. We were here. We mattered. Do not forget us. And perhaps, one day, long after we are gone, someone will find ours. Recovered stories from worlds that never existed.